you can turn your magazine images into fun pages. It's week 26 of the Hillside Heart Prompts, halfway through the year. Today's heart prompts are Splash, contributed by Christine ... and Murmuration, contributed by Linda Barrett. I'm looking this one up. Murmuration, a massive flock of starlings that swoop and swirl through the sky in highly synchronized, mesmerizing patterns. Also the soft murmuring noise of a crowd. Two things to choose from. Before I look for anything on these prompts, I'm going to choose my page. I'm going to go to the very back of the book. I don't know where I'm going with this yet, but I'm in my free Dwell magazine, and I just saw this illustration of a bathroom. I'm going to take it out to add to some magazine images that I've already taken out. I cannot find a flock of starlings or a flock of birds at all. I'm going to go with the soft murmuring noise of a crowd for Murmuration. And I was looking at some of my magazines, and anything that had any crowds were huge layouts, which would be way too big for this. I will be using both of these, and this is an envelope that I'll probably trim the edge here and close off the top so that I can add some things in the pocket. This swimmer is making a splash, so I'm going to use this. A few things that I can do here. My bathroom that has a splash of color, but it also creates splashing when we turn on the water. And I also found in one of my brochures from Norway, I have these people making a splash in their canoe. I found a crowd right here, and this is in Vancouver, and it's a public disco. I think that is fun. Now that's probably really loud, but I could not find a gentle crowd. So I'm going to have to go with this. Here's a splash of color also that's already on my page. That can be incorporated. I think before I put that on the page, I'm going to see what else I can do with the crowd. I'd like a bigger crowd. And I just uncovered my Orkney free magazine, and I found this crowd in Stromness, and they are bringing in the Yule logs. I'm going to take this. And then I also have my surfer. This is another Norway This is in Carmoy. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. On the beach there. So I could use that. I think I have enough images now. Just have to put them together. This is definitely a splash. That's a good crowd right there. It says Stromness in the background. That's good. I have this picture. All right. And I might put these all together because the crowd would be the middle. Just thinking about that. That could be the middle of the excitement. And I can keep everybody there. Now I'm prompted to put some more color over here. I think I'll do that. I will use some pink. I added some washi tape to the top to close this off. And I'm going to add some color. It might get covered up. It's also another good description for splash. A splash of color. A splash in the water. Have a little background. Okay, I'm laughing to myself. I wanted to dry this with my heat tool, and I held it a little too close, so I melted the plastic. And that's okay. I stretched out my washi tape up here. Now I'm just taking the plastic away from here because it's all bunched up. Now I can make that lie flat. And still have my pocket open. And I did put my notch in. Probably should have waited, but I think that'll be okay. I can put it over like this. This is going to have a little bit trimmed off. Just trying to figure out a good way for that. There's another crowd. I have to keep these. Happy dancing people. And I can put everybody dance. I can put that right there. And then my splash. Got one splash. I don't know if that'll make it in there. It could. I might not have any room. I want to keep that. That was my outside on the grass painting. And I really like this. I've got a lot going on. I kind of want to keep this pool. Oh, I like the arrow. Maybe I'll make that into an arrow. They're having fun splashing. This guy can be, oh, maybe coming down like that. That's a lot of splash there. I think this is how I'm going to keep my selection of images on here. I might push that over, or I'll just add the notch back in. I want to keep that there. And then I'm going to take the other half of the page of the surfer, and it says so much to do, a little bit of the description, and then I'll put my other potential splashing or splash, and I'll put that on the back. I'll sew around that. Oh, I'm going to sew around each of the pictures. I used a zigzag, the straight stitch, did some messy sewing. I just wanted to do something a little extra, and I like the way that that looks. I like the threads. You don't have to sew. This is something that can be done very simply, as easy, as in-depth as you want. As many layers. Sometimes we just want to add a little bit more. This one's going underneath. These are definitely accessible to do depending on the equipment or the supplies that you have, and depending on your mood. Sometimes we don't want to do anything other than glue images down. What I love about using prompts is that these are just a guideline. It's to help spark your inspiration, help spark ideas. I was going to cut that shorter, but I'd rather see most of the pool. And I can definitely go over top of the other image and leave most of the threads. I like that part of it. Just thinking about what I'd like to do now. I was putting this in the pocket and it gets lost either way. I could leave it in the middle so you can see it. And then I also thought, what should I do with my hearts? I could put them on the back of here. I sewed them together and I'm going to use them as the tab for my little insert. And then it'll be like that. It's a big pocket. I could put a lot in here. I don't have a lot to put in here right now. Adding a splash of blueberry stained paper. It's an envelope, junk mail. I'm going to add my definition in there. Another journaling spot, but I also wanted to add something on the top because when we splash hard, it makes noise, and we're in a crowd. Soft murmuring noise of a crowd. Okay, I need to put, maybe I can do it like this. I just found these in my little trash bin. So I picked them out because they're the same color. I thought that would be another splash of color to add. And I've got all these fun, doing a test run. I can't find these words in any of my saved cutouts from magazines. So I'm making my own, but I want to see the size and what I need to do. I think I'll do it in white and I'll outline it in black. And I think that's where it's going to go. Make delightful noise. All of these things are delightful noises. So I'll put make over here. But there's lots of noises going on. These are definitely delightful to me. Adding a few dots. I could have splashed it is week 26. Splash and murmuration. For murmuration, I had to look it up. It's a massive flock of starlings that swoop and swirl through the sky in highly synchronized, mesmerizing patterns. Also, the soft murmuring noise of a crowd. I went with number 2. I could not find anything that had a flock in it. And I also did my my journaling. I just used a splash of berry dyed envelope to put my definition on. I looked through my magazines and my travel brochures and found a couple of crowds. And then I added some splashes of different types. This is in a lake, this is in a pool, and this is a surfer. I painted the envelope that was already on here, and I used my own painty paper, and I wanted to leave that because I thought it was nice. Kind of reminded me of some splashing also. And then I found a bathroom. It had a shower in it, and I added splish splash. I was taking a bath. Well, there's no bath, but it's a shower. And then I backed it onto the other half of this page, and it said so much to do. I added the hearts as the tab, so that goes into the pocket. And I wanted to sew around each element, each image. I added a bit of sparkle. I also printed make delightful noise, splashes of color here and there, splashes in the water, a crowd with delightful noise. If you missed the first half of the year, click here to watch week 1. Enjoy your week, everyone. Stay adventurous and be fresh. I'll see you soon.